True, the world is a hood. They atomize the nuclear family, surgically remove the male and any dependence thereupon in exchange for dependency on the government. Who? I'm sorry. Who is doing this? Who is doing this? Okay. I'm in the UK. I'm not in America. Do you know what I mean? No one put a gun to my dad's head and told him not to look after his youth. No one put a gun to my stepdad's head. Do you know what I mean? And told him to. I don't get this blanket reasonings for why, like, there's. And then I go in foster care, white family. Do you know what I mean? Mixed mum, white foster dad. He has an affair. He leaves his woman with 7 kids. Me, 5. Me, my brothers and sisters, and then her 2 sons. I don't get how it's this exclusively black issue. I'm not saying it doesn't happen more often within the black community, but to say that it's something that the government is implementing and completely negating the personal decisions that some of these men make, it just does not make any sense to me. It just does not make any sense. But if that's the issue you want to tackle, why don't you tackle that issue head on? Why is your ex-wife the target for that issue, which is nothing to do with her? Because no one forced you out of your home, Kanye. No one. But he's a genius. He's a genius. Ooh, he's a genius. He's speaking truth to power with no substance whatsoever. Ooh.
And if we keep on allowing this to happen and we don't have some level of a decency clause inside of our media on what everyone sees, like when I was young and I would go to the video store, if I wanted to...
Do women not have options? It's only the men that have options. Women don't have them. Like, and doesn't that fall more onto the responsibility of the men rather than the government if it's down to the men taking these options?
To go into the adult section, it was a curtain. It was
the options are for in what? Elaborate a bit more on that, Richard, please, if you can, if you don't mind. Because I'm finding it hard. I'm just finding it hard to, like, divorce is an option before marriage, rendering the latter useless. Yeah, of course. That doesn't mean it's automatically an option that a man can't take. What men don't. But yes, there's the statistics of who, do you know what I mean, go for the option of divorce more than, do you know what I mean, than the other. Women call for divorce more than men do. Are we going to completely negate the nuanced reasons why that might happen? It's just government, or it's just all the women's fault? Like, men are really the ones to make that decision. Yeah, because because of the whole, you know, the woman gets half and but then does that mean that, you know, people that are not happy together and are probably toxic with each other should stay within a marriage? No one is able to get out of a situation that is not beneficial to them at all in terms of their well-being or in terms of them being able to actually sustain a proper family unit, like, coherently. Men don't want their kids exposed to other men, but women have no idea about the forces that are acting behind. What? Where's the men don't want their kids to be exposed to other men, but women have no idea about the forces that are acting behind the scenes. Again, I'm not seeing the correlation between those 2 points. Yeah, there's things women might not be aware about, things behind the scenes, but if a divorce needs to happen, a divorce is going to happen. Men should no longer have any control over who a woman dates. How the children are going to be presented within that new relationship, yeah, you should have some say in as the father of the children. But that does not negate what the woman can therefore do after the divorce. The man can still get a relationship. Would it be fair to say that women don't want their children around other women? I don't really. The argument is often used, what if the shoe was on the other foot? Okay, so what if the shoe was on the other foot on the other ones? Which gender abuses the most? Okay, go on. Both. I would say both. Boom. Should there be more in regards to the domestic violence that men go through? Yes, I agree. Yes, I agree. Yes, it does happen. Yes, most definitely. But my point would be, it shouldn't be happening on any sides, rather than it being, well, who does it more than the other? Like, this is it. I know exactly where he's going with this, and I know exactly what he's saying. Oh, if a man's getting abused in the street by a woman, who's there to help him out? Nobody. Yes, we know that. Who's more responsible for that? Society or us men? Because I'm sorry, I will admit, when I was younger and I heard about things like that as a man, no influence from any woman at all or society, I laughed at that shit. Oh, you getting buoyed up in the street by a woman, man? Rah, what's going on with you? Rah, how you letting that happen to you, man? Rah, you're a pussy. Yes, I did that when I was younger. Yes. We did that to ourselves. We did that. We did it. I don't know. I don't see, do you know what I mean, how it's the woman's fault. And yes, if a woman is hitting a man, no one should be hitting no one. That's it. Straight. That's it. No one should be hitting nobody. I'm not going to get into what happens after the hit. No one should be hitting nobody. No one should be putting their hands on nobody. Doesn't matter which side. Our business. So there's no point in talking about, oh, well, what if a woman hit you? Shouldn't you have the right to hit back? I'm not going to get into it. The woman shouldn't have hit me in the first place. I've seen the arguments on the other side, where women are arguing, well, because you're bigger and stronger, don't you think it's unreasonable to hit that woman? It makes no sense. No one should be putting hands on nobody. What I have a problem with and don't see what is productive is pitting each other against each other. Well, women do it more than men. So that means, because if we were to venture into, the manosphere and the red pill and shit, do you know what I mean? The solution that most of them would put in, yeah, she should get boxed back. How about you just walk away and not deal with those types of women that feel like it's acceptable to be clapping up man? That's an option. People can walk away. It's the same thing with this cheating. Oh, men are going to cheat. It's a fact of life. Let's negate the betrayal of trust. Let's negate all of that. The betrayal of trust that could be done on both sides. Because if a woman cheats on a man, oh my God, the world is going to bumbuckler end. Let's talk about the actual emotional things in the middle. If if trust is broken on either side, it's a problem, innit? If trust is broken on either side, it's a problem. What do we know that women want in terms of trust? Monogamy. If you're gonna treat her like, if you're gonna present her as this princess, put ring upon finger, why can't that be honoured? And instead of inflicting more pain, you leave. Why does the worst option that ends up causing more pain, why is that being presented as, oh, it's just normal? That's just what men are gonna do. Even though if that trust was broken from the male side, the man would be vexed, and somehow that's fine. The shit makes no sense. The shit makes no sense. Does trust provide some sort of security? If there's trust on both sides, yes. Yes, it does. Can that trust, therefore security, be broken? Yes, but that's a chance that everyone has to take. That's the risk that you take when you get into a relationship. The point being, if you feel that like there's no trust there, come out. Why does further pain need to be caused? Why does further upset need to be caused? It makes no sense. Would you say women traditionally seek security more than men? Yes. Yes. Tall, dark, handsome, feeling like they can be protected and provided by. What does that mean to you? Security. Especially if most men are looking for like traditional gender roles, they're going to be rearing the home, looking after the kids, and Of course, women are going to be looking in security in terms of traditional gender roles. Of course, women are going to be looking for that security to be able to do that. Yes, women look for security in men more than men do. Like, this is interesting. I'm enjoying this. Don't lie. If they see an opportunity to have more security with somebody somewhere else, would it be reasonable for them to leap on to another lily pad? That's down to the choice of the woman. I can't speak for the woman in that sense. If I was given that choice, for me, if I felt that way in terms of my eyes are straying, recognizing that the love or affection that I claim to have for my partner at that moment in time is being questioned, maybe I need to think about whether I'm in this relationship for the long haul or not. Now, I would assume that maybe the woman would think about that on their side. Okay, this isn't working. I'm going to step off. But the thing would be, is this would be way before the notion of marriage. So if we're talking about this happening during marriage, do you know what I mean? And that, just whittling it down to, the woman saw somebody else and just jumped to the next lily pad. What would the reasons be for them to not feel secure where they are? Is it insecurities? Is it problems within, the actual relationships? Communication problems? There's a myriad of nuances in terms of what could lead people to come to the point that they don't feel like they can be together anymore. I don't understand why those things are ignored, or they're just whittled down to, the other person had more money. The interesting question I would have is, what, for more context in terms of your perspective, what position are you coming from? Me, I ain't afraid. I'll read what you're saying. Security is a broad sense, the largest company of which is usually financial anyway. You can buy security after all. Yeah, that is true. If you see relationships as transactional, then yeah, that is true. Most definitely. Most definitely. If all relationships is transactional, then that's a really narrow way of looking at relationships. For me, it's not transactional. I'm third generation broken home, where the law has been used as a weapon against the male. I mean, in terms of relationships, and that, because the thing is with this, a lot of these talking points are coming from podcasts, YouTubers, people that are talking about high value men or trying to get men to become high value in this, that, and the third. I'm gonna say to you that I am not afraid to say that I am a person who is on benefits. I have mental issues. Do you know what I mean? I have not got my shit together. Do you know what I mean? And for me, that is the number one reason why I'm not in a relationship. I have tried. It has not worked. Not because of anything to do with the woman. More to do with my insecurities, and feeling like and recognizing that I am nowhere near ready to be in any kind of relationship, especially because of my own insecurities. I know that the money thing is going to become a problem, especially if I'm not earning any money, but the person who I'm with is earning money. I need to get that sorted out before I enter into a relationship, so those insecurities don't end up causing a problem within the relationship. I am willing to admit my shortcomings and why I am not anywhere near in any kind of high value woman's league. Are many other men willing to do that when it comes to relationships? I see that a lot of men are not willing to do that. So where does the problem lie? My insecurities are mostly in how the mind of a woman has been nurtured. Why is that an insecurity for you? Why is how a woman's mind has been nurtured an insecurity for you? That doesn't affect you. Again, if you don't like how the relationship is or how it's going, you have all the power in the world to be able to leave and find something else. So I'm sorry, that insecurity doesn't really make sense. How is another woman's mind nurtured an insecurity for you? Let's not get antagonizing. Let's not get antagonizing. Let him speak, man. Let's have a civil conversation about it. Because this is interesting. Let me put some tunes on in the background. But that is a whole different psych subtopic. Interesting. No, I'm talking about. Oh, one sec. No, I'm talking about leaving a relationship. Oh, right, yeah, okay. Hold on. Because even if I have a certain immunity to all the representation around us, I can't expect anybody else to be in the same. Therefore, I won't bother to enter a relationship in the first place. Why create a need to separate? Don't join in the first place. Oof. If that's how you feel, bro. If that's how you feel, then at this point, I would fail to see the need in looking at women at all. Then I'd fail to see the need in concerning yourself in how a woman's mind is nurtured if you're already at the point of, well, I'm not going to join in. this is not something that's going to work for me, so I'm not going to join in and shit. Like, I would just crack on at that point then. Yeah, it's not to say that I haven't got to that point my own self. I have felt like that my own self. Do you know what I mean? But at the same time, I have to recognize that social media is not the world. It's just not. Do you know what I mean? The last relationship that I was in, it was amazing. We were due to get married. Do you know what I mean? It broke down because I had not dealt with my mental health issues enough at that point to really be in a relationship. I was going through severe periods of psychosis, and I was locking myself away, do you know what I mean, in my room for hours on end. And because the insecurity was building up, that I felt like my partner was going to leave me anyway, I was the one that was saying, just leave me, find someone else who's going to give you the life that you deserve. And that I was the downfall. I was the cause of the downfall of that relationship, even though it was one of the greatest relationships that I've had. And that it started off where I was on benefits, she was in university. As she was finishing university, I managed to get a job. We moved out. We got a beautiful place together. Do you know what I mean? I started to experience and do things that I never thought I could. And that going on certain holidays and things like that, do you know what I mean, that I never thought I would be in a position to be able to. Not all because of her, but because we were a team. Do you know what I mean? She made me, not because of her telling me to do this, that, or the third, because I wanted to be able to do this, that, go on holidays, do the things that she wanted to do. I made a lot of changes within myself. But the thing that was most important that I didn't focus on was my mental health, and it caught up with me. And so that's how that relationship broke down. I've had other relationships before, do you know what I mean, where I've been cheated on, and that there's been a bit of violence within the relationship, do you know what I'm saying? I've experienced them. But once you get into a relationship where both of you are working together as a team, and shit, all that other bullshit just means fuck all, and that ends up what you are looking for, and you recognise the traits in the people to be able to try and find that again. But there's no way in hell that I can blame her, do you know what I mean, for the shortcomings that I didn't recognise and I didn't communicate. You're right, I didn't. Instead of communicating, yo, I'm seeing things, I'm having PTSD flashbacks from that incident that happened 3, 4, 5 years ago. I can't sleep, I'm having nightmares. But my pride wouldn't do that. I drowned myself and tried to make as much music and trying to do as much bookings and this, that and the third as I possibly could. Is trust voluntary ignorance? I would say no. In terms of the purity of trust, no, it's not. It can't be if you are choosing to voluntarily ignore something. That's not trust. That can't be trust. That can't be trust. Within the context of the question itself, it can't be trust. Trust doesn't mean that you ignore things that you shouldn't. Yeah. Ignorance would be if you knew better, and if you feel like you know better, then you don't trust. Yeah. If you're choosing to ignore something that has broken your trust, then that's you choosing to be that's you voluntarily being ignorant. But at that point, the trust is gone, because the trust is getting to a point of position where both of you understand the boundaries that shouldn't be broken with each other. So in terms of a relationship, that's should be fucking simple, man. Don't lie to each other. Do you know what I mean? Don't keep secrets. Be open with each other. Communicate. Do you know what I mean? Don't cheat. Do you know what I mean? Right? I don't get it. I don't get. And if that isn't happening, you either communicate about it and you can move on from there. But again, at that point, it's a case of building the trust back up rather than ignoring the problems. Or you can bombaclat, leave. Both of you can leave. The simplest option is the one that is never taken. You can leave. The idea of trust having pure connotations, I like, but the trust does get portrayed time and time again. Of course. And this is the thing, nobody's denying that. That could be anywhere. That could be trust between your friends. That could be trust within the workplace. That could be trust within, do you know what I mean, what are supposed to be secure public spaces. Like, there could be trust. Trust can be broken anywhere, but you still have to take that chance. Especially if you were a person, because again, you've said that you're at the point of you're out of the game. What's the point in if you join in? If you don't join in, then you can't get hurt, and that's a fair play at that point. Do you know what I'm saying? But if you do, if you're a person that does want to be in a relationship, that does want companionship, do you know what I mean? I'm a lover, man. I'm a lover. I love long relationships and all them kind of things there. I love being in service of my woman. Do you know what I mean? If they deserve to be, like, it's not a simp thing or anything like that. I love being in love, especially if it's deserved and it's being returned. Do you know what I mean? Genuinely and sincerely. And shit, I love being in that type of relationship, especially if we're working as a team. Do you know what I mean? And I felt that, and I want that back. Do you know what I mean? I know it's going to take time, this, that, and the third. Again, that's the position that I've gotten into. But at the same time, it's recognizing that I've got insecurities that I need to get dealt with first. Nothing to do with anybody else, or to do with me. Need a job, need to fix up my yard, I need to get my health back on track. Most importantly, I need to get my mental level. If I'm only at fucking 45%, I can't be expecting 100% out of somebody else. I can't. When I blatantly know they're not going to get 100% out of me, I know I'm at 45%. How is that fair to put somebody else into that position? I'm breaking their trust straight away. I'm presenting an image of myself that I can't uphold because I don't know I'm at 45%. Ras klar. Do you know what I mean? So that's it. It's like once you're real with yourself, then you can be completely real with everybody else. And if they're not being real with you, you've already laid out with how you are, your demeanor, how you carry yourself, how you explain situations. You've already laid it out. And if the people around you choose to cross those boundaries, you're well within your rights to walk away and not say shit. It's not that difficult. I don't get why it's being made to be this difficult when it really isn't. It really isn't. But it all starts with having confidence and security within yourself first. There's no point in there's no point in going out there pretending to be 100% just to secure the bag when you don't know you're 45, 35, 25%. What's the point? You're setting yourself up for failure straight away. From there, yeah, man. Blessings, you get me? I wish the best for you, man. I wish the best for you, Richard, man. I hope you're not out of the whole thing. Do you know what I mean? And you find what you're looking for, but take comfort in the fact that you already know what you're looking for. There's nothing wrong with you being picky. There's nothing wrong with people being picky. There's nothing wrong with people being picky. If there's a genuine companionship, relationship, marriage, them, yard, mortgage, or them kind of thing. If that's genuinely what you are looking for, then there's nothing wrong with you being picky. The problem comes in with is when, oh, it's not completely what I want, but I'll dabble anyway. Fuck off. Fuck off. Fuck off. That's where you fuck up. That's where you fuck up straight. Because then you don't know. You're playing games. Unless the other person on the other side is coming to you straight, yo, I'm just looking to boss boots, fam. And that's it. I want to hear nothing about no get to know. I love you. We're knocking boots. Mad ting. And then done. Come out me yard. Safe. Safe. If it isn't coming like that, and you have to, no, I'm not like that. I'm not like that, those other guys. When you fucking don't know you are, and all you're looking for is to bust nut. Fuck off, bro. Fuck off, man. Don't talk to me about, when you don't know your intentions. And I'm a man. I know people have those fucking intentions, and that's what they do. Fuck off about, the women treating me like dog. When you don't know you've gone on like a dog. Fuck off, man. Chat shit, man. Chat shit. Gets me vexed. I've had sisters that gone through that shit. I've got female friends that have gone through that shit. Don't talk to me about when you don't know, you fucking talking your shit, manipulating the situation so you can bust nut and leave the next day. Fuck off, man. Fuck off. Let's get back to fucking Bomba Clark, can you?
As a person.